Now live on the Red Pill Diaries. I'm your host, Rashid, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the most powerful platform for truth, bar none on God's green earth. This is your platform for education, elevation, and edification. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome back to the platform E. Michael Jones. How's it going today, sir?
Good, Rashid. Good to be here.
Yes, I want to. I don't know if you want me to, but I want to put a part of your article up, and because it addresses a lot of what is going on, what we see going on with Donald Trump. And your article is up now, and at the beginning, the name of the article is Donald Trump Sails the Ship of State into Troubled Waters, and it says, the first paragraph or two says, as I have said many times, America's third republic is now coming to an end. I have also said many times that God has anointed Donald Trump to bring an end to the American empire. Could you elaborate on that? We see it happening in real time, but sometimes seeing it is not believing it for some people.
Yeah, this is, I'm talking about God as the being who is in charge of human history. God created space, he created time, he has never left go of that creation. He has guided this creation from the beginning to this moment in time. Now, when you say God's in charge, the first thing people will say to you is, well, what about evil? Are you saying God commits evil? Shame on you. And then you have the dilemma. Either God cannot stop evil, in which to him, and they're scared, and he's giving them a hard time, and suddenly he reveals himself to his brothers, and there's this moment where he says, the evil you intended to do to me has been turned by God's power into good. That's what God does in human history. He can take wicked intentions, wicked actions, and turn them into good. And I'm saying that's what he's doing with Donald Trump, in spite of what Donald Trump intends here.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of people saying that Donald Trump has declared himself to be the Messiah, and those around him have declared him to be the Messiah. And Donald himself said that he's not a religious man and that he doesn't believe that he's going to heaven. And at the same time, he's saying that he's fighting a crusade around the world. How can you square those words that he's saying, because all of them seem to be diametrically opposed to the truth?
Right. I'm not saying he understands God's will. I'm not saying he's docile to God's will. He is the head of the most powerful country in the world, the American empire, and he's pursuing his own desire. Incorrigible. When they not only did not listen to the prophets, when they killed the prophets and perdured in sin, is God going to let that go? No. He's going to give them a chance. The world is in that position. No one else has ever been in that position. But but over the past, what would you say, couple months, we have seen a dramatic change in world history. From the moment where Israel could kill everyone in Gaza, destroy that place with impunity, to the point where now Tel Aviv looks like Gaza. Mm-hmm. I see God's hand in this.
Mm-hmm. And in your article, you also say, as I have said many times, America's third republic is now coming to an end. I have also said many times God has anointed Donald Trump to bring an end to the American empire. The Holocaust narrative was the foundation myth of the Third Republic, but its fundamental institution was the United Nations, whose most fundamental principle was the rule of law, known as international law, or more recently under the iteration known as the International Rules-Based Order. In a dramatic speech before the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney announced the end of that era by exposing the international...
Because there was a conflict that we could not resolve here. Okay, the Civil War, when the Republic ends, certain things do not pass. Alienated those people, and now they're a hostile border. But let's get to the heart of the matter here. It's all this rules-based order, okay, yeah, law, international law, comes down to keeping the sea lanes open. Remember, he mentioned that. in that little speech. Sea lanes are no longer open. So if you want to talk about Donald Trump, think of Bibi Netanyahu. He's Trump on steroids. Everything Netanyahu does brings Israel closer to extinction. That's exactly what happened with Iran. It's even worse now for Israel. Every time Bibi Netanyahu attacks someone now, all these missiles come in from it.
Becoming great for them. Then now you have a war at home. So I think America, the war planners also see that, and so they're playing hot potato with the bases, transferring them from one base to the next base, so that they don't bring them back home, so that there will be a war at home. But now we're looking at the debt burden that's becoming untenable, and then we're looking at what's going on as Iran strategically struck us. That's money, and money that she doesn't have. And do we see civil insurrection and civil war within her borders when they come home?
I think that the crucial moment is going to come when they reinstitute the draft. Liberation from the hand of God.
On that note, I want to thank you for joining me, Mr. Jones. We got to bring you back on here. As I said, we have to bring you back. I love the fire. I love the passion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashid.
I'll send you the video in a few minutes.
Good. Salam.
Walaikum salam. Everybody, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today on the platform. And as I always say to you, do right by others, not because there's some material gain to be had or because of some accolades, but do right by others because it's the right, the humane, and the godly thing to do. Because even when no one else is watching you, remember that God Almighty is watching you. And as my late, great, and beautiful mother would always say, God sits high on the throne of power, but he looks low at the actions of man. Know that I love each and every one of you who loves truth, but know that the love that I have for you will always pale in comparison to the love that the divine supreme being of freedom, justice, and equality has for you. Until we next speak again, stay strong, stay true, but above all things, remember to stay righteous. Hey, mama, your baby boy still loves you more than